We're visited by the Easter Bunny yesterday. Yeah, so I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go back to work, but I have to go back to work. The list of little tiny things. So I picked us up at Joann's. It was not the color I thought it was going to be. It turned out to be very, very pink, but they did turn out great. And this was our test on the Lazy Susan. So we just did a test run of our banner. So we need to get new ties that aren't multicolored, but it looks pretty good from a distance here so you can see everything. Good morning, Glorious followers, and welcome to Monday. This is Carolyn from Crafting with Glorious Purpose, and this is another week's vlog where we take you along our small business. The small business is Crafting with Glorious Purpose, and we make unique gifts for you or for that someone special. This is the week of April 13th. I'm working the later shift for work, so I don't get on until 9, and got a little bit of a later start this morning. Was doing some stuff around the house this morning, so it is right now it's 8:30, so I have about a half an hour before I have to log back into work to start my day. And then, you know, we usually do our mornings and lunches and spend some time together. So if you watched last week's vlog, which I posted this morning, we worked a little bit on our keychains and our key fobs for upcoming market on May the 4th. So we're a few weeks out, and this week I kind of want to do work a little bit on a display. So over the weekend I was able to get a little further along with that display that I started last week. I picked up another round of pegboard. Actually got it spray painted. I found a pink. We did a walk through Joann's, and I couldn't walk by and not pick up the spray paint because it was only $3 because it was 50% off. So not really the pink I was looking for. It works. But ended up going to Ace Hardware later for some lawn care stuff and found a pink that I liked better. So we'll see how durable this paint is, and if it starts to flake or whatever, we'll use that as the pink base coat and spray over it, because it does not look like the pink on the can. It's a little more pink than I like. What pink I was looking for was something along this dusty color, and yeah, it's pretty bright. So this week I'm going to show you a proper tutorial of the key fobs that I alluded to on my last video, using Ollie's 100% polyester bed sheets. So I'm going to work on showing you that tutorial start to finish. I'm going to gloss over some of the easier stuff because I'm pretty sure everybody knows what interfacing is. Showing me putting it on or making cuts. I'll give you the dimensions, but I don't want to waste anybody's time watching, you know, the filler kind of stuff. So I'm just going to show you the basic how I do it, and then you know, you guys can kind of make it your own and do what you want with it. I've watched quite a few tutorials on making key fobs, so mine's not anything different other than it's just a different technique. The key fob ends up getting sewn the same, the hardware gets put on the same. So I mean, there's really nothing to show there that that isn't already on a tutorial. So I'm gonna work on that here this morning. I've got some additional ones I want to press, so I will record those ones and show you what those look like. And other than that, we did a test run of the banner last night, so I can kind of show you that video. I'll throw that in there too. We wanted to put our tent up since we haven't had it up since December's show. And like I said, that was windy and crazy. So we just kind of shoved it in there. And we wanted to open it up, make sure that there weren't any holes or anything needed to be replaced, because we did get the extended warranty so that we could replace the top or if there were any cracks or anything. So we put that up. Everything looks great. We found a way to hang up the banner and it looks great. It's a perfect size. Couldn't be more happy with the way that banner turned out. We did hang it up yesterday. It wasn't windy, but it had a little bit of a breeze out there, and was kind of hoping to air that thing out because it really still stinks. And I don't know if it's the vinyl or the coating, the weatherproofing coating that they put on it, or just the ink, or the whole process in general. But that's the first banner I've ever bought, but it does have a very strong smell. So putting it outside, getting it aired off, 100% worth it. And we were visited by the Easter Bunny yesterday, a week early. We were cutting grass and two little bunnies split two different ways, and one almost went inside of our garage. So I hurried up and closed the garage, found a box because he was huddled in the corner shaking because the lawnmowers and the weed whacker and all that stuff was going on. And yeah, so I got a little box and got him to, he like jumped right in the box and was like, yep, get me out of here. So I kept him in there, couldn't find the other one. The other one was kind of teetering, but like he would run on the other side of the yard, or our neighbor's yard, and then under the fence back to our yard, back and forth. I was trying to catch him. But yeah, he wanted no part of being in the box. So happy to report both of them are still good. We checked this morning and it looks like Mama came and got them. So there was a little hole that was in the middle of the yard that I think they kind of were burrowed in. So hopefully she found them, or they took off and left somewhere. But they were freaking out because of everybody was cutting their lawn. So there was no safe haven for them anywhere. But yeah, so that was quite an adventure yesterday. They were super duper cute, I gotta say. That is what I have so far. There are some little things that I'll probably end up having to do once I set up my table, or tables. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I know I have to make tags for the wristlets and for the keychains. So yeah, I mean, just kind of little tidy up things, but once I get them on the table, then I can kind of see what I need. But I'm not quite yet ready to do a table one yet, because I'm still finishing up some little products here and there. I did make a new keychain, but I can show you that later when I show you what the display looks like. But I'm going to get started on my morning here and getting these done. So let's take a look at how we're going to make these. So for the key fobs, using the polyester. So what I have are strips cut out of, first off, I've only used the pillowcases. I haven't even touched the flat or full sheet yet. So what I have is the typical standard 5 inches by 13. And they might be a little wider, only because I know they fray pretty easily with being polyester. So I trim them down to be more accurate whenever I put the interfacing on them. But that's what I have on here. And I'm just using the Crafter Square Dollar Tree interfacing because I can get quite a few out of one sheet. And I'm not making these where I need to go to, a fabric store and get like yards of it, because I'm not making that many just yet. So what I do have is a few of these with interfacing on them. And I have 2 printouts that are ready to go. So what I need to do is my printout, I do 8.5 by 14 because my printer allows for that. So I have these printed off as 2 strips and I cut them. So I have this paw print one ready to go. And then I made one with cherries and hearts. And all I do is I line them up, tape them, and then press them. So we're going to do 2 to finish these off because I had them ready to go. And then we're going to head over to the infusible ink drawer and pick a pattern so I can show you using that. This is the mess and the what it looks like for right now. But I have the pens. I don't use these anymore either. But this is three boxes deep with infusible ink, and I have every color. I have a whole bunch of different patterns, and I don't use any of them. So they're just sitting here kind of going to waste and picking up precious craft space. So if I can use these and get rid of them, I'm all for it. And then I have one that is tire and diamond plate. So I think I'm going to do the diamond plate, only because I don't have any ones for guys. So we're going to do this one. If you've ever worked with infusible ink paper, transfer sheets, they are very finicky and they are rolled up and they are a pain in the ass. I think I opened this. I had to use the red out of this one, but it looks like I still have the diamond pattern and I have the tire pattern. So wait, there's a little scrap of red. So I only used the red and then I shoved it inside of here. And I guess there's this like black, but we're going to use the tire, or we're going to use the diamond plate. So they come in 12 by 12 sheets, and I see these a lot on clearance. So this might be something really cool for someone. I have no intention of buying more. I want to just use what I have. But if this is a hack that you want to try, then it might be good to pick them up while they're on clearance. So I'm going to use, let's see, I got those two here, and I'll use that for these two. And then I have, these ones are good, but I don't have anything for them yet. And then I have this one that's ready, and I'm going to use the diamond plate for that. So I'm going to get rid of my mat here. And then this is, all I do is I just cut them down. So obviously this is 13 and this is 12. So I just center it and leave the extra space at the top so that I can use that as the part that goes under the key fob, so you don't see it anyway. And I don't need to do a full 5 inches. Like I don't need to supplement this whole width because it folds into itself. So I only do about, you're looking at it being like 1.25 inches. So I think I end up doing maybe a 2 inch or 2.25 strip. So, and like I said, this stuff just rolls into itself. It's just a pain to work with. So I'm gonna cut a 2.5 inch. I think that should be more than enough. This little guy at Dollar Tree too. It's pretty handy actually. Oh my God. I like the thing that took us. So I could get quite a few out of this roll. So I'm not using it up as fast as I was hoping, but it's still getting used, which is great. So the one thing I do want to do is, because this is kind of, you definitely don't want to supplement with any lint or anything on it. So this has the protective film on the back, and then it's just a piece of paper. So when you're not weeding it, it goes actually not too bad. You just rip off this back and you're ready to go. So yeah, I just kind of center it as best as I can so that I know when I press it and it folds into itself that I'm not going to have any white showing, and the only place that white is going to show is on the very ends. And I'm going to tape this off, and I'll get these other ones taped, and then we will be all set to take this over to the press. It's warmed up and beeping at me now because I forgot about it. And we'll get this going. All right, so we have our heat press hot. You will need to put down some parchment because this does blow out quite a bit, especially the Cricut paper, because it puts down more ink than your printouts from your, so let's do, I'm gonna do the two that I printed first. So this one is the cherries. I feel like I got two there. No, okay. And then this one's our infusible ink, so we're gonna save this one for last. And this one is the other one with the dog paw prints. So I'm gonna put my paper down on top, and it is the typical 385 at 40 seconds. And we will set this up to go. And there we go. And let's take a see. So if you can see, that definitely blew out on that one. And I'm going to reuse it because you're not going to see, it's not like it's a t-shirt or anything, so I can reuse that. But there is our fabric, all sublimated. It turned out great. It also, I just do the interfacing just enough to tack it down, and then I figured because it's going to be pressed at this temperature that it will seal the rest of it. So I don't worry about making sure that this is on super great until I press it. But then, and there are my pink paws. So those ones are taken care of. And now let's take this one, and like this one's going to want to curl on you just because of how this paper is. So I try my best to kind of hold it as I can. Let's see. And we'll do it this way. And you're going to do the exact same thing. All right. And then this one is done. So this one will be, oh, that's great. So there is the diamond plate after, like you can't even see that there was diamond plate on here. Like when we used the Easy Press, like all you saw was leftover pattern. So there's my diamond plate. So once this is folded up on itself, and I might have made this a little too small, but we'll give it a shot and see what we can do. We'll turn this off, and then we're gonna head over to the room and we're gonna look at that. All right, I have a few seconds left here, and then I have to get logged back into work. But what I wanted to do was just show you the end part of this. So let me bring you down here. So what we do is you take this and you fold it into half. And since this has been sublimated, you don't want to put this under a hot iron because it's just going to reactivate the ink. So all I do is do a finger press, and it actually gives you your score line. And then I do half again. And then I fold this into that half. And then I flip it and do the same thing with this one. And you can trim up these edges if they're a little raggedy. I'm just doing this real quick because, like I said, I only have a little bit of time left here. And we'll finish these up at lunch. But then you're going to fold both of the halves down and fold it into itself this way. So, like I said, didn't sublimate the whole way, but it's not going to matter because you're not going to see it. So you get your key fob this way, and then you're going to stitch your key fob just like, you know, like normal. You're going to do your stitch down one side, stitch down the other, and then seal it together, and then put your hardware on, and your hardware will cover up the part that doesn't go to the edge. So we got that one, and then I want to see if this diamond plate one is too close because I have a feeling I didn't put enough, but we'll give it a shot. I think we might be just okay. I did sublimate it a little crooked. It did slide on me a little. So there's that. And yeah, this is the side that has me concerned, but let's give it a go. Yeah, it's just not enough. I might have to make it just a smidge smaller, but I am just like a fraction of an inch, or fraction. Well, you know what? Once it's stitched, I might give it a go. Only problem is if you can kind of see it's sublimated funny right along the edge. Might be something in the, but that was a pretty good guesstimate though. But that's how your key fob would look. So this top portion, I usually trim off the extra edges anyway, but once you put your key fob hardware on there, it's going to cover all that up. So you're just going to have a nice little diamond plate key fob. So we'll see how this one looks. I don't know. I don't particularly like the way that line is like right in there, but that could be on the inside and you're not going to see that. It's just the edges. I might have to like take a little bit off on the inside here so that it comes up a little more, and then I think we're going to be okay. So I got my lunch break is just about over, but I got enough time to trim these up and kind of let you know where we are. I got all the stitching done on these. I was able to salvage the diamond plate. I trimmed up the inside, so then that gives me a nice little corner there. And the part with the little bit of, it looks almost blue. And I think it might have been something on the transfer paper, like with the way that it was printed, that I didn't notice. And sometimes it's hard to tell that stuff until it actually sublimates, but that will go on the inside and you won't even notice it. And yeah, so then what I do is I line them up and then I just trim them down until they're underneath the little, the key fobs. So I am going to finish cutting these up and then we can put the hardware on. I mean, I still got to stitch them together with the sewing machine, but there's nothing special there that anybody knows how to do. I mean, you just stitch it up. So the hardest part is doing this and getting all these little tiny threads off. And like I said, I just kind of trim it up a little bit so that when it fits in there, it looks all nice and there aren't any loose threads. And yeah, so these 4 went pretty quick. I do have cat ones ready, or a cat one ready, I should say. I don't have multiple cat ones done, but I do have one with cats that look like the one with the dogs that were drawn with the line art. So I have different cats. But these ones will get their stitching together. I'll probably do those tomorrow, and because it's a karate night, so I will be sitting at karate and I will be doodling. I did put up a new image on To Do last night, so I can show you what that one looks like. He turned out really cute. So there is I ended up going with a different saying, but that was my placeholder, was the lowest belly in the West. But I ended up doing Howdy Partner. So that is available in my To-Do shop as a PNG. Yeah, so I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go back to work, but I have to go back to work. So we will catch you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. So today I started working on the next collection. So I was upstairs drawing for a little while. Yesterday, I left you with stitching these. So these are stitched, but they just need to be assembled, sewn across here, and then putting the hardware on. And I pressed one more last night, which is my kitty cat one. And I made the fabric, or the print, a little smaller to see if that makes a difference when it's made into a key fob. I love the way the dog one turned out, but I just wanted to see if I made it a little bit smaller, would the print look better? And I think it might. But yeah, that's what I'm going to work on today, is stitching up this cat one, and then also finishing up those before I got to log on. I've got about 25 minutes or so before I need to log on. And yeah, I think these are going to look cute. I did want to share this funny story with you guys because I thought this was kind of funny. So I tend to post on Instagram first, create it as a reel. It auto posts to Facebook, and then I also have it auto post to my Pinterest. Now, Pinterest, I'm not on there actively. Personally, I'm on there all the time, but I'm not on there as like a presence. I just post. I just have my posts go there, you know. So I kind of got tired of, if you pick a reel and then you pick music on Instagram, it will flow to Facebook and it's all legit. But as soon as it goes to, like, you can't put it on YouTube because Instagram's music is different than YouTube's music. And so I was posting reels without music because I was frustrated. So then I thought, oh, well, wait, I have GarageBand because that's on all my Apple products. I'll make my own music. So I opened it up and was just kind of messing around with like hitting different tracks and whatever. I mean, I am no musician whatsoever, and it is not the best quality, but it's just a, 10-second reel that has just background music that I needed something for. So I just put in a bunch of music and put it in there. Do you know that Pinterest actually sent me an email saying that they had to mute my pin because the music was so-and-so's? I was laughing hysterically because I was like, that is legitimately somebody's music. Like, I spent 2 seconds hitting a bunch of buttons. If that's considered music, then I'm in the wrong field. I should become a musician, because that to me was not music. It was just filler. And I am not sure how to reply to that email. I mean, they're not taking my pin down, but it says your pin contains music owned by someone else. Your pin doesn't have audio in the United States. It may contain the following. And then I'm not going to say the name of the music, but I can't even I found it online, and I don't have Spotify, so I can't actually listen to it, but that's the only place I could find it. I want to hear it to see if it actually sounds like what I did. Like, what I have is just like this. It's a joke. That to me, that's what it is. It's a joke. But it says that my pin can still be viewed on Pinterest. What can I do? If you think we've mistakenly removed the audio from your pin, you can submit an appeal. I would love to send them the 5-second track that I made on GarageBand, which isn't all that great. I mean, it's just drums. And like, the only thing I can think of is they use the same like sample as a loop maybe in the background. But I was going to try to go up and use our Alexa and ask her to play this song, but I have never heard of this woman. I've never heard of the song. But if I can hit a couple buttons and make a song and that's considered music, then I'm going to become a musician. That'll be my extra inflow of cash. But it's like, I can't win. Like, I thought I'll just make my own. And I kind of felt like Ross Geller in Friends. And if you watch Friends, you'll know what I mean. Sitting there just poking different buttons and going, oh, I'll just add this, like whatever. Nope, not enough. Apparently that's somebody's song. Oh, it's so freaking stupid. At lunch today, we'll make a proper list of things that need to be taken care of for the show, and we will figure it out from there. So I'll catch you in a few hours. have to make more of my brand. And all I do is I use ribbon. Ribbon is 100% polyester. So I have, where is my ribbon? I use this it was Michael's, 7/8 of an inch. And it's 100% polyester and it's white. So what I do is I just cut, I think it's like 2.25 inch little strips, and then I just supplement my logo on them, and they work perfect. So I just fold them and then attach them and stitch. That's it. So that gives me my little brand on there. I only brought the one bin in because the other bin has the shadow boxes and it has the memorial lights, and both of those will be going. I just got to switch out the shadow boxes. So let's get this stuff cleaned up a little bit here, and then I can take a peek at this stuff here. I need more space. I need more space. All right, so we get all these little fabric scraps, and all right. So first up is car coasters. So I have these ones are just regular theme. Like I have some teacher ones. I've got my bee ones. I've got my lovely Bigfoot, and then I have my cat ones. So the cat ones are definitely going to come because we want to make sure we have, and then here's a pet related one. I might, I don't know. I might take these as just extra filler in the back. Just leave this one as a cat one and miscellaneous, and then, you know, yeah. So I think I'm going to take all of these. Out, I kind of just dumped some of this stuff, like this market. We actually did a decent job putting stuff away, but you know, it just happens. Sometimes it just kind of goes and slides all over the place, especially since I was digging around and rooting in there to get some stuff out. So these are my little bags that I have on hand for people that just buy stickers. So I have a little card if they leave a review on my website, which I'm gonna have to change now because so Farah is the brand that I was using. It was a plug-in with my Big Cartel where it interacts with the platform. They did away with their free version. I think I have a whole 6 or 7 reviews on my site, and don't really need, especially since their free platform or their free service only went up to 500 reviews. There's no way I have 500 reviews. I don't even think I have 500 sales. So let's be honest, I'm not going to pay to have that service. They did away with their free service. So now I have reviews up there that I don't know if they're just going to disappear or how to get reviews onto my website now. I'm going to have to manually create a page and do it, which is just a pain in the ass. Whatever. Anyway, so these are so this has my business cards in there, but these are my mystery stickers, which I might still take. There might be some kiddos there. So I think that'll go. I'm going to leave the bags, the tote bags at home. I only have a few of these left. I can't seem to get rid of these last few. Everybody looks at them, but nobody picks them up. I do have a Peace, Love, and Dogs one. I don't know. Maybe I'll take that one. I'll put that on the pile. And then if we have room, we'll take it. I also have Peace, Love, and Rescue, which is glitter, rhinestones, and sublimation. So those ones are dog. So we'll take those. But these ones are not. And I can't forget my little shopping cart. This is what I put my business cards in. So that's how I have them sitting on my table. I absolutely love this little cart. And I found him at the party section in Hobby Lobby. And I put my little logo on the front because I can. And let's see. So this is another display. That's an empty box. I am down to 4 books left. I did these little Dollar Tree revamps, and I've actually sold 3 of them. I'm down to these last 4. Somebody actually bought one at this market, which I was actually shocked, but I will not be making any more of those just because it was something to try, and I'm just not going to be doing it. So, magnetic bookmarks, I don't know. I have some cat ones here, and this one is a dog or cat one, I guess. I have the You Paused here, and I have You Fell Asleep here. So I think I can bring these 2. I did sell one of these at the last event, but I think I'll put these aside. They might be good to just kind of throw on the table because they already have a price tag on them. And this was my little example that went in the bin. I don't know where the bin went for it, but that's what that was for. I do want to revamp this. I hang this at every show. It has all the dogs that have purchased from me. Say their owners purchased from me, but we like to let the dogs know. But yeah, these are my favorite customers. So I have that. I usually hang up close to where my dog bandanas are. So this one I have out, for example, for my my little crate. I have them all folded up and packaged so they look like this. So you don't really get a good, and people usually ask, like, will it fit my dog? So then I can show them in the example. These are 31 inches wide, so they are pretty big. These have gone around a husky, so these are pretty big. I'm not taking my hand towels. I don't have any dog themed hand towels, and I didn't even put them on the list. This is my box of bandanas. I have the over the collar and I have the tie ones in here, and I have, these were all already taken out. Like I already took, no, it's back here. I took out all of the Christmas ones and things like that. So, and then I have my decals. And like I said, I think I'm going to just take the cat and dog ones out of this. Just because, so these ones are for the memorial lights, which I did sell. I sold one. Which one was it? I think I sold the Always, what was it? Always in Our Hearts. I sold that one. So I have one left. I made extras of You Were My Favorite Hello, because that one is the one I've sold the most of. You're My Favorite Hello and My Hardest Goodbye. And I have some of these with paw prints, but when I put them on, I cannot put the paw prints on. So if somebody wanted to buy it for a loved one, they could do that, or they could have it for their pet. So I have some for people and ones for pets. So I think I will be taking those for sure. I have my Pet Alert ones, which that's this stack here. So I have my Pet Alerts are the in case of emergency, pets inside, please rescue. These ones go really well at my show. So I have a dog and cat mix, which is also another thing. Like if people have pets, they usually have more than one. I have 2 small dogs, 2 big dogs, 1 little dog, or as I like to call a tiny dog if you watched Secret Life of Pets TV, 1 big dog, 2 cats, and 1 cat. So I have that mix of, these kind of got out of order here. So 2 cats, tiny dog, and big dogs. Yeah, so I did the mix just so that, you know, I might have to make more of this one. So I think I'm going to write that down. I only have 1 of the big dog left. And it's been a while since I replenished these, so I should make more of these. So I'm going to make 1 more, 1 large dog decal. All right, and so I'll be bringing those, and I have regular dogs. These are just regular dog decals. So these are ones like Stay Positive. I have a couple variations of that. I think I have this one here that's more plain. I have a big paw print, which I made a bunch of those, and I think I only have one left. So I probably should make more of that one to make sure. I love my dog. I love my dogs. Oh, here's the rest of them. They got out of order. So I made like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these. So I think that's plenty. I have rescued as my favorite breed because we will be going to, if this is going to be for a rescue shelter. So I want to make sure that I have things for rescues. And so I'm going to put this back with the Stay Positives. I have Treat a Clock somewhere. I have Easily Distracted by Dogs. Dog Kisses Fix Any Bad Day. Then there's the Love My Dog, Love My Dogs. Life is Better with a Dog, or Better with Dogs. And didn't I have... Oh, somebody must have bought the Treat one. But I thought about the Treat one, like that would be really cool on a dog treat bowl. Or not bowl, but like those clear containers, like if somebody got one. So I have those for regular dog decals, and then I have a whole bunch for cats as well. So then these ones I'm going to keep and definitely put these in there. So I have Kittens Are Angels with Whiskers. Love Has 4 Paws and Whiskers. I did a Stay Positive with cat paws. It was a request for that one. Home is Where the Cat Is. I Love My Cats. Life is Better with a Cat. Life is Perfect with a Cat. So I have those. And the rest of these are like military, things like that. And then I do have my window clings, which I do have pet related ones. So maybe I'll take some of these out of here too. So I have a whole section of pet ones. And these ones, yeah, I think I'll bring those too. Just kind of threw them in here. So these ones are more, these are the ones that you can stick on your windows without any destruction, or have, you know what I mean? You can remove them and put them where you want. But I have cat mandalas. I have a dog mandala. I have a rescue dad, a rescue mom. I have another Treat O'Clock somewhere, and I have a Stay Positive. So these ones, like I said, are just window clings. So those can go up pretty easily. And then, so yeah, I'm not going to take these little bookmarks. I'll stick those in there. And, or wait, these are the ones I was bringing. Sorry, these ones I'm not taking. And I'm not taking these notebooks, so I'll stick these back in here to kind of condense some space. And these are not coming with me. I'll put these with the towels. So that is actually not too bad, to be honest. That's a decent amount of merch. So I have, like I said, I have that whole wall that I showed you guys there, and I have the big display. So yeah, I think 2 6-foot tables probably would be the way to go. So I think I'll be good there. So yeah, okay. Let's see, what do I got time-wise here? Enough to clean up. Awesome. This time goes by for lunch quicker than I... Good morning, glorious followers. It is Wednesday. So today, I've kind of gotten a little bit of a head start. I pulled everything out of the bins. I was able to switch out some shadow boxes. I was going to switch them all, make them all dogs. But then I realized this is only a 4-hour show. And the bigger one isn't until September. So I'm going to have to switch them back. So I switched the Easter one for a dog one. So I have my dog memorial one with the wings and the halo. And then I have a regular dog one that we can switch out the dog breeds for. And I figured I would leave the other ones as is just to kind of show some variety. So it's going to be a lot of little things. I have about 45 minutes of my morning here. So I'm going to be just doing that kind of stuff for right now. At least getting the items together in one spot so I can kind of see what I have. The list of little tiny things is growing. So I'm not making anything new. I'm still holding strong that I am not making anything new, but I do have a lot of little things that I need to tighten up before the event on the 4th. So I have, with Easter being this weekend coming up, I won't be doing anything. So I kind of want to get as much done as this week as I can and take advantage of the extra hour in the morning. And then I will have that next weekend before the event to do table setup, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a lot of little things that I need to get taken care of. We do need to figure out if we're doing 2 tables or the 2 tables and the 4-foot in the middle, or the checkout stand, or just doing 2 tables and just bringing our chairs. You know, again, it's a from 1 to 4. I don't want to make it more complicated for that kind of, like, it's a quick show. So we'll figure that out. And, yeah, so I'm going to continue on with this little stuff and, you know, catch up with you at lunchtime. It's lunchtime, and I had these all cut, and I just put the vinyl or the transfer tape on these. So I'm doing them real quick as a burnish, and then I pre-peel every single one of them to make sure that none of the letters get left behind. It's just an extra step I do just to make sure that what I'm giving everybody works. And takes a couple seconds, but makes the world of difference whenever they're applying it, to make sure that everything comes off and nothing rips or breaks for them. And then I give them a nice little trim so that they're perfectly square. I don't particularly care for whenever you see vinyl transfers that have like not straight edges and look sloppy, so I trim them up so they're very nice. Plus they fit in my packaging, which I already had ready to go. I try to make, like, if I'm making them, I make quite a few extra just so that I have them on hand, and then all I have to do is just assemble, which makes them a little easier, especially whenever I need to make some quick. So I had decided that I only had one of these left in stock for the show, and I decided I'd make 4 because people tend to buy this one more so than the other ones. So I made 4 because it was just easier to make them 4 up when I was cutting. So I have these all taken care of. I have 2 more to pre-peel and package, and then I can list these in my square shop. And I also cut out, while I was using the scraps, because this doesn't, when I do 2 across, I get a little bit of an extra piece left. I use that to make my 2 signs for my wristlets and for my keychains. So that is another one I can cross off the list. So I've got my 4 dog alert. can cross that off my list. All right, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch and then come back and make my, oh, and I also added to update my shows on my Big Cartel website too, because they are a little outdated since I have a new one to add, and the one that has already happened, I'm just going to take that off so that it doesn't confuse people with, you know, having to scroll down to find out a date that's already passed. So I got to take care of that. So I think some of that online work, and I think I can accomplish all those on my lunch break today. So I'm going to go and grab myself something to eat out of the fridge, and then come back down and do some more work. Hello and welcome to Thursday. So I wanted to show you guys real quick what we got done over the weekend. So I put things on here just to kind of test it out and see what it would look like. And as of right now, nothing is really attached permanently. I still have some spray painting to do. There was some definite parts that did not go on evenly, so I just want to give it another spritz whenever the day allows. Today it's a beautiful 30 degrees outside after having a 75-degree weekend, so I'm gonna have to wait. Maybe hopefully this weekend will be nice. If not, it'll have to wait until next week. But right now there's a Lazy Susan underneath that we got at Target. We're gonna try it out. I don't know that it will be enough to support the weight of the wood that we have, so we might have to fix that. But the ultimate goal, so the top's going to have this on here. I'm going to spray paint that too. But the ultimate goal is on the inside to have the four corners having some kind of bracket that this will slide over top of, so it won't slide either way. It'll just sit over top of it. And then we can take it apart easier to put it in the car. And then I was going to use some foam tape and put that on the top for right now, but leaving that open so that if I wanted to remove it and I wanted to add another layer or another tier, I could. But that's how it looks so far, and we'll see what happens. That's how our board or our display is looking. So this video is getting very long after I noticed how many clips I have and all the content. So I was in kind of snipping things, but you know, better have more stuff to tell you guys than less. So my apologies for this going longer. It is Thursday, so you know, our morning, I really didn't do much this morning, but here at lunch I've got, you know, a decent amount of things that I want to try and take care of, I guess. I'm going to work on the favorite customer sign. I do want to get my, what else was on here? My dog list I kind of wanted to work on, and I figured both of those are going to get laminated, so that way it's probably a good idea to do them both at the same time so that I don't have to take the laminator out once. So I'm going to work on that today at lunch. Not really much to show you. I do want to leave some space for tomorrow in case there's something. So I'm going to, you know, try to keep this brief, but we're actually in really good shape for our goal of trying to get everything done this week before Easter, so that the last week would be cleanup before the market. So we're getting there. Good morning, glorious followers, and welcome to Friday. So today I'm just going to give you a little send-off. We are at Good Friday, so I'm hoping that everybody that does celebrate Easter you have a blessed Easter. We're going to spend it with family, and I hope that you do too. And I didn't do much last night and don't plan on doing much tonight, only because our family does our annual glow-in-the-dark Easter egg hunt in the house. It's something we did with my son when we first moved into this house, you know, 10 years ago. And it's something that we do every year. We buy the little glow-in-the-dark glow sticks, and we put them in Easter eggs, and then each of us take turns to hide them in the house and hunt the house in the dark. He was, when we first moved to this house, it was a little overwhelming because he was only 5, and moving to a new house, he had some, he was a little afraid of the dark. So especially with being in the new house, he was used to the old house being in the dark, but not the new one. So we did that to kind of show him that there was nothing to be afraid of walking around in the middle of the night. So we had like little flashlights, and we were walking around in the house with him. And now we're able to kind of walk around without flashlights, but still, it's something fun we've always done. I figured he didn't want to do it this year, but he had asked if we were doing it. So it's something fun to kind of break up the night. And so we'll be doing that, but also prepping for tomorrow. We're doing our Easter dinner a little early with family tomorrow. And, I got to prep some sides that we can take down. So it'll be a fun weekend. So I'm hoping that you guys spend time and enjoy your traditions with your family, and leave some comments below on what you do for Easter. That would be awesome to hear. And also, if you've made it through, please leave me some Easter emojis, Easter eggs, little chicks, whatever, bunnies to celebrate the bunny that we found earlier in the week. But I'm going to keep plugging away at my list. I got a good bit done, and looking forward to hitting it hard next week, being the week before the event. So fingers crossed we get there and it's an awesome show. So I'm looking forward to it. But once again, everybody have a great and wonderful Easter season. We'll talk to you later.